Today on the Topping Show, Kevin O'Leary on Trump's fraud case causes businesses to avoid New York. Vivek at the Daytona 500. Riley Gaines on a biological man injuring 3 biological women at a basketball game, causing the women to forfeit. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Post is ultra boring. Capital One to acquire Discover at a 26% premium. Walmart buys Vizio TV. And General Motors halts the sale of Chevy Colorado due to software bugs. All of that and much more on the Topping Show. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of Topping Show is sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. Gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, you see, that's a joke. If you're an IT leader or business owner, reach the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going over to the business part of the podcast, you have Capital One to acquire Discover at a 26% premium, which is a pretty penny to say the least. Well, granted, perhaps a more accurate description would be a pretty vintage penny, since modern pennies are 99.99% zinc, also known as trash, and just copper plated at this point. Now, Capital One perhaps is best known for that old funny commercial, at least best way I know them, anecdotally speaking, is from those funny commercials probably about a decade or so ago, where they have all the Vikings and they always ask, what's in your wallet? Which perhaps was probably the best marketing campaign because, truth be told, it stuck. Though, truth be told, it's not effective enough for me to actually purchase their product or services, but nevertheless, moderately effective for brand awareness, some might argue. Now, it looks like, again, they're reaching the deal to buy Discover Financial, and that value is coming in at $35.3 billion. And this would actually put Capital One on top. So this would create the largest U.S. credit card company by loan volume, according to Bloomberg, as well as being the largest deal of the year thus far in terms of acquisitions. They also break down the acquisitions, presents a 26% premium over the current trade market share or market value of Discover, and it still has to pass over regulators, where it'll be interesting to see if there's any pushback from the U.S. government, if they think this will create more of a triopoly with only a couple of really big, I would say there's many options, but there's a few big players, so to say. Now, they also noted that, last year they had some issues at Discover. It's found out that they had some compliance issues. The CEO actually stepped down, so kind of dipped their stock a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see. Capital One, they claim that they're trying to reach more attractive premium customers, and they think that Discover might be a good mechanism to do so in order to get into that upper echelon of clientele. Now, the downside is, the ever-running joke on Discover is, who takes Discover? Because very few places actually do. I don't know who's in charge of the sales organization at Discover in terms of getting merchants to use their specific, credit card. But I remember just the longest standing joke in Family Guy where they're like, "Oh, Mr. Discover over here." It's like, no, very few places actually take Discover. Perhaps it's because they're looking at a smaller number of clients, but higher value. So it'll be interesting to see if that acquisition actually is allowed to go through and how that might bolster their overall sales and portfolio. Thank you, everyone, again, for taking the time to tune in today. We're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a comment and a thumbs up, thumbs down, and sharing is also a great way to give us additional feedback, as well as help the channel grow. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.